looking at you some kind of way right now. I'm speaking to those people. Okay, I'm speaking to those people that have people in your energy that fell for the okie doke. Okay, that agreed to sell their soul, and they don't see it as that. That's the crazy part. Many of them don't see it as selling their soul. All right, they agreed to sell their soul, and some of them don't even know that they sold their soul yet. Some of them are very much aware that they sold their soul, but they did it because they felt like they have nothing to lose. Okay, so you have those folks that have the, oh, you only live, what is it, YOLO, you only live once. Okay, that's them. That's those type of folks. You have them YOLOs out there in your energy. Okay, people that are in your surrounding, whether they're close to you, whether they're in your community. These are neighbors, these are family members, these are so-called friends of yours, these are co-workers. These are folks that have this belief that you only live once. Like, I'm talking about them folks that, like, I don't give a F kind of energy. And so when they came into their energy to offer them, you know, whatever package they were offered, they were willing to take it without any question, because they have no honor. These are folks that have no honor, and you know this. There are people in your energy showing up that are like this. They have no honor. Honor, what's that? Principle, what's that? Value, what's that? As long as you can pay them, as long as you can guarantee them X, Y, and Z, as long as you can guarantee that they're going to eat the rest of their life, even if it means stumbling on somebody else, that's the kind of people that you have in your energy that's showing up. In regards to your finances, those folks that fell for the okie doke, those folks that literally, you know, took the bait, they're looking at you some kind of way right now. These are folks that are looking at the chosen, the people that didn't decide to sell their soul, that they know refuse to sell their soul. They're looking at you some type of way. And this is the exact energy that I was getting. These folks actually think that they have leverage over you. They think that selling their soul to the devil, literally, that's these entities that they made these agreements with, they have no idea. Okay? And it's showing up as the devil, and I kid you not, like, these are, what I'm really getting is they're not human. Okay? These are non-human entities. That's what they don't know. They made a deal with non-human entities, animals in human form. And now what they think also is that they have leverage over you. These are people that's always wanted to have leverage over you. Okay? And now, because they know and see that you're not someone that's willing to sell your soul, they think, all right? They think that they have financial leverage over you, because that's the kind of game that's being played right now. That's the only way they think that they can have leverage over you, is over your finances, because they know that there's no other way that they can control you. They can have control over you. And so they will try to use finances as a leverage. Some of you know this. You feel it. All right. They will continue to try to use your finances, financial circumstance, as a leverage, as a way to get you to crack, as a way to get you to fold, as a way to get you to give in. What they do not know is that you, being someone who is chosen, like, your currency is determined by some force greater than them, greater than their force, whatever non-human entity that controls their currency. What they don't know is that your currency is not determined by their currency, by their organization, by whatever system controls their currency. That's not who controls your currency. Your currency is divine. Your currency is not something that, you know, they know anything about. So some of these folks that thought that they could use finances as a leverage against you, they're finding out how honorable you are. They're finding out just how much of a spiritual being that you are, because whatever it is that they sold their soul for to get, they're finding out that that's not the case for you. And they're going to be so shocked to find out that what they thought they could use as a leverage, they cannot. because you as the chosen cannot be bought or sold. Like you're you don't function. See, it's like you're one of those people. I've said this before. You're a 5D being living in a 3D reality. Your currency, okay? Your currency is high vibration. Your currency is one such that no one can control that. No one can control that. No one can control your destiny. And this is what some of these folks didn't know. That's why they sold their soul to these non-human entities. Some of these folks were not very much in tune to the spiritual, what spirituality means. And so they quickly sold their soul to these non-human entities as a way, as it's like, this was their way of bargaining. Okay. That was their bargaining chip. I agree to do this and you agree to make sure that I live, with my belly full the rest of my life. That was their thing. They were very low carnal minded in their ways. They have always been very carnal minded in their ways. Many of you have people in your families, in your communities, in your surroundings, all right, in your workplace that are very much carnal minded. Okay, they're only thinking about the here and now. You talking about those YOLO folks, you only live once. That's what they are. As long as their naturalness, they're not that natural being, that physical body is satisfied, they're not thinking about anything else. They don't care about anything else. Give them money, give them food. For some of them, give them the S word. Okay, I don't know if children are watching this. Okay, you dealing with those type of folks. You have these type of folks in your communities that have subjected themselves to these non-human entities. And I seriously am calling them non-human because it may even very well be that they're not human. Like, remember I talked about animals in human form before? That's the energy that I'm getting. Like, whether that means spiritually, physically, okay? Like, they don't care about humanity. They don't care about your humanness. They don't care about your, you caring about other people. These are folks that are very, and I don't even want to call them folks. They're entities that are very much primitive. Very primitive in their thinking. Y'all know folks like that as we speak. They care about nothing else except for they're very carnal minded. What does that mean? Okay, give them the things that are going to satisfy their bodies, this physical flesh. Okay, it's almost like to them nothing exists inside of this shell. All right, for them, there isn't a soul that exists in here. There isn't a spirit that lives in here. It's just an empty shell. And many of these folks that are out here, and you've seen them, they look empty. They're void